Thanks, Riaz. Good morning. Residents of a Burnaby high-rise and RCMP got more than they bargained for after finding some explosives in an apartment building overnight. The officers were executing a search warrant and found cocaine, weapons, and cash. They also found 10 sticks of dynamite in a suite on the 11th floor. The high-rise on Grange was evacuated and residents relocated to a nearby community center. The dynamite was crystallized, making it very unstable. But the bomb squad eventually secured it. Many other explosive devices were also found in the suite. No one was at home at the time, and no arrests have been made.
This is extremely concerning to the police and to the public and the residents of this building. It's an extremely dangerous situation. We have a suite that was being used as some sort of a drug preparation or distribution location where there are numerous firearms, a high quantity of multi-kilos of cocaine, lots of cash, and unstable explosives. It's a recipe for disaster.
The dynamite was later burned at nearby Central Park without incident. Dozens of tenants left homeless after a weekend apartment fire in Burnaby are scrambling now to find new housing before their emergency funding runs out. Greg Harper is live in Burnaby with the details. Greg.
Jody, a fence now surrounds Greenacre Apartments here. One would think they're about to tear down what remains of the building behind us. Only the front of it remains, and the roof is partially collapsed. Certainly isn't safe. That's why security remains on the scene here. Over 100 people lost their homes in that massive fire on Sunday morning, and now the search is underway to find a new one. For those that couldn't find a relative or a friend's place to stay after that fire on Sunday, they were put up in a nearby hotel. The problem there, the emergency funding to provide 72 hours of food and shelter, that's about to run out. Cynthia McPhee, who used to be a Greenacre Apartments resident, she was rescued by firefighters on Sunday, and you could say she's got a good outlook on things.
My shoes fell off down the ladder, so I had no shoes. But, like, seriously, those are just things, right? And it's only today. Tomorrow, you never know what. I might even win the lotto. You never know, right? So it's not as bad as it can be.
What caused this fire? That's still under investigation. Many people who did live here didn't have insurance. Some good news here. The Salvation Army near Metrotown, they're collecting donations, collecting bedding, clothing, and furniture for those who certainly need it right now. Jody?
Indeed. Thank you very much. Greg Harper reporting live for us this morning. We are just hours away from the BC budget, but the government has already had to rewrite its books. Finance Minister Mike de Jong says natural gas projections have been downgraded by $60 to $70 million. The move comes after a recommendation by Tim O'Neill just yesterday. The former Bank of Montreal chief economist was hired to review the budget before its release. He found gas estimates way too high. In fact, O'Neill says the government has overestimated them in 5 of the last 6 years.
The other, I suppose, obvious point about this report is that he looks at revenue assumptions and he doesn't deal with the expenditure side at all. So on the key question of whether the budget is balanced or not, he doesn't pronounce at all.
The Liberals are still promising to deliver a balanced budget later today. We'll have more details on the breakdown of what we might expect this morning from our legislative reporter, Kim Emerson. That comes your way at 8:15 this morning. South African Olympic runner Oscar Pistorius sobbed this morning as charges of premeditated murder were read against him in connection with the death of his girlfriend, Riva Steenkamp. According to the prosecution, the double amputee shot the model several times through the bathroom door. The prosecutor also said the door was broken open afterward. Defense lawyers called the Valentine's Day shooting accidental, saying their client thought the model was a robber. As the court hearing was going on, Steenkamp's body was taken to the south coast city of Port Elizabeth for a memorial service. We love to peer into the animal kingdom as often as we can, albeit that you've never seen a frog like this one. This is the Namakwa rain frog. The spotted frog from South Africa normally spends its time underground, but when it's threatened, it pops up into a ball and loudly squeaks in self-defense. This video was uploaded to YouTube last week and already has close to 700,000 views. Interesting. Time to take you to sports at 6:35. Let's head to the Connected Studios. Here's Don Taylor.